Alrighty, fellow deathbats and lady deathbats, welcome into Sinister Jace Kingdom, and the reason I'm doing this in such an awkward format and way is because I am pretty much stuck with just a phone, and I wanted to make a video on this subject, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Now, with that said, I'm going to go ahead here and retro review Pokemon Puzzle League for the Game Boy Color. Now, let me pull video up and then we can continue on with this. So, alright. So, here's a video of the game. I'm going to let it play while I'm talking about it. So, I really liked Pokemon Puzzle League, okay? And then after I played Pokemon Puzzle League, I remember playing this a few years ago, not very long before a short period of time. And give this game a try again. So I did. And I actually liked this game a lot better than what I thought I did. Playing it a second time around gave me a better, different experience with it than what I originally had the first time, which was playing it and then I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. And I realized that the graphics weren't my best friend. Game Boy Color graphics are not my favorite thing in the world, and I will say that. But they still have a lot of potential. I still love playing the original 2D Pokemon on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, and all the handheld consoles afterwards, because that was a different experience than what they put on Nintendo for Nintendo 64. You know, the NES at that time. They didn't really put that on there for us. So we more or less had to go to the Game Boy to play the full Pokemon experience that everybody really liked. I remember taking the Game Boy in the bus, and my friends would use a link cable to trade in like battle and all that. But that's besides the point. All right, so let's get into how I feel about this game and what I think about it, and just give my overall rating on the game, and then I'll go back and refix everything, and then you guys will like definitely, you know, have a better video. But I enjoyed it. I enjoy it for what it is. It is a good way to pass the time. Out of Pokemon Puzzle League and Puzzle Challenge here, this is good for on the go, and Pokemon Puzzle League was good for at home on your main home console. That's what the difference between the two games are. Out of both of them, I still choose Pokemon Puzzle League because it looks more pretty than pretty in graphics as compared to the see that is Cyndaquil there. On the Pokemon Puzzle League, they didn't really have it like that. This gave a little bit of a different experience for the game itself, which I really, really do enjoy. You know, graphic wise, not the best, but I will say it's totally recognizable and get you by. You know, art wise, again, not my favorite thing in the world. Music wise, you got a whole bunch of familiar sounding Pokemon theme songs that are being played while you're playing this. So if you pick up any Pokemon game, you're gonna recognize there's a genre of music that they choose for the game to, you know, to make it have that Pokemon feeling to it. Not just the graphics, but the way the music sounds. Game Freak has their own genre things that they like to do, and they normally stick with those. So that's why I think it's cool that they did it this way. You know, music wise is good. There's a whole bunch of other different challenges, sort of like Pokemon Puzzle League, where you have different challenges in there. There are different variety of challenges in each different game. Except for, you know, my favorite one in here so far was the line puzzle challenge, which is get everything below the line, you pass a level, and that's that. It does get challenged later on. I'm at like 30 and I can't even pass it because it goes too fast. Because the one issue I have with playing this game, and it's not the game, it's the way I have the controller. The controller is a digital controller, and I can't help but have trouble hitting some of the buttons at some of the times I need to. So my biggest gripe about anything here is the way the controller is played, because even if you sit there and you hold it still and you still remember what the button setup is, you're still gonna mess up and you're still gonna accidentally hit the wrong button at the wrong time or miss the button or something along the lines. Like I witnessed myself at times trying to hit up or across and it won't process because my finger is in a different area at that time. Just like A, I'll sometimes end up hitting B or otherwise. And that's just my biggest gripe about this game. Other than playing it, like if you have a Game Boy Color, go pick this one up too. This is totally worth it if you like Pokemon Puzzle League. But overall, I give this review this game an 8.5 out of 10. Um, it is worth playing. Is it for everybody? I will say maybe not. Um, Let me go back into more detail on the game. So again, we see here the double squares to switch back and forth was another thing I will say I wish the game would change. But again, I still give this an 8.5 out of 10. I forgot to go over that. But yeah, that does it for this review. I hope you all enjoyed this. I will be back with another review later on. In the meantime, I'll go searching for some games, Death Bats, Lady Death Bats, and keep gaming, everybody. Take it easy, and God bless.